Good morning, friends. As you can tell, it is really early and I've actually just got up and brushed my teeth. So it is a Monday morning and I am super excited to bring you all along. This is more so a way to help keep me accountable. I've not really felt the best in the past couple of years actually, and I know it's in relation to my diet and my lifestyle. I don't want to say that I'm sedentary, but I'm not like super active either. Just in the past probably 6 months, I've got to where I can walk like a flight of stairs and breathe when I get to the top. So that is a major milestone for me. And I have had, this is not an excuse, just a fact, I have this major issue with my feet. If you'll notice, I wear Crocs the majority of the time, and then in the summer I wear sandals. I wear Crocs to work. That's my feet swell like a lot. So if I wear a very constricting tennis shoe in the beginning of the day, it's okay. As the day goes on, it gets worse and worse, and then my toes kind of start tingling about halfway into my shift. So I don't wear tennis shoes a whole lot, and Crocs aren't the best as far as support. They're just, where they're very wide, they just help my feet not feel that way. I hope that makes sense. So I had decided that whenever the weather started getting a little nicer, that I wanted to start walking. And I don't know that I'll ever be a runner by any means, but I do want to start walking. So yesterday I got a pair of shoes, and I wanted to show you all those because they are amazing. They are Brooks Ghost, and you can see the top of the actual shoe is like very stretchy, and it has like a lot of give. You could see there, and that's just one-handed me barely pushing my finger up. So it's more kind of like a sock, I guess would be the best way to describe it. So if you have, like, my feet are wide and they swell, so they get even worse. And then I have the whole arthritis thing, you know, the whole show. So if we're gonna go big or go home kind of thing. So anyway, I'm very excited about these, and they are, actually I got another pair too, so let me show you those. And they're the same as far as the top, the mesh, but they actually give more. These are the Glycerin GTS by Brooks, and see, the tops are very similar. And on the inside, you can see how thick this is. And by no means, I guess I should have added a disclaimer, this is not sponsored. Oh, that would be awesome at some point, but as of right now, this is just a trial, so we're gonna hope that this goes really well. But it says cushion support on the inside, and when I was just trying them on in the store, and we all know how that goes, but they did feel better than any tennis shoe that I have put on in a very long time. So my face is still puffy, but anyway, I don't rely on the scale a whole lot. I go more based on how I feel and how my clothes feel and how they fit. And like I said, the whole climbing the flight of stairs and breathing at the top, that's more of what I'm going for. But just like I said, for the accountability part and hopefully motivational part, I'm going to take you all along, check in. Right now I'm planning on doing like weekly weights, because especially if you're a woman, you know that the scale can be very deterring from anything that you are attempting to do if you don't see immediate results. So, or discouraging, you know what I mean. So I try not to do that like daily, because our weight does fluctuate so bad, and I don't want to get discouraged just on the daily. So I'm going to weigh, like right now, my plan is just to weigh every Monday. So I'm going to check in. I'll probably do this vlog every week just to show you all kind of like my eating choices my activities, exercise choices, things like that. So if you all are here for it, and I truly, truly hope you are, that we can just encourage each other, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and follow along on this journey. And we're going to get all of this started. So let's go. Welcome to the end of the video. I hope you all have just got a little bit of motivation and realized that I am not a health guru, not by a long shot. But I am a mama that is just trying to be a little better and a little healthier than I was yesterday. That is my goal. That's just the best thing that I can think of. I want to be better, not only for myself, but for my kids, just so if they want to go out and do something, I can do it. And I'm not, planning on running any type of marathons or anything to that effect, but I am trying to just let me give you all like a recap of what we've done this week. I have, let me insert a disclaimer. I'm not a dietitian, and please don't use anything that you see or hear as a substitution for actual medical advice. So do consult your doctor before you make any major lifestyle changes, whether it be physical or to your diet or whatever. But I just wanted to throw that in there. I am not doing any major changes. I'm just trying to be more conscientious of what I eat and the time that I eat whatever it is. And it's not realistic to say that, I'll never eat junk food again, or I'll never have another cupcake or that kind of thing. It's more in moderation, I guess. And it's taken me, 75 years to come to that realization, but it's not realistic for me. And I've tried tons and tons of diets. It's not realistic for me to say that I will never eat a certain thing ever again and just completely restrict that from my diet, because it's kind of just setting myself up for failure. So I'm definitely not going to do that, because it's just not realistic. And I don't want, especially my little girl, I don't want her to grow up being so focused on image that she forgets the health aspect of it, and that sometimes it's not, our health is not a direct reflection to the number on the scale. And that is very, very difficult for me as well, to understand that it doesn't define who you are. And this did not mean to be like a whole big, that deep type thing, but I did get caught up, and I find myself still struggling with it sometimes with the scale. That's why I'm not going to do dailies. I cannot stress that enough. I did that once before, and it's just so disheartening when you get on one day and, you're down 5 pounds, you get on the next day and you've gained 3 of that back or whatever. So I highly do not recommend doing daily weights, just because, unless you absolutely have to. Like, again, this goes back into the health, medical thing, unless there's a reason as to why you need to do that, because it's not realistic to
hang on to those numbers and don't let yourself be defined by the number on the scale. That's the gist of this whole thing. But I have replaced 2 of my meals. And again, this is just for me. I have replaced 2 of my meals. I typically replace breakfast and lunch because I'm not a big breakfast eater anyway. So I've replaced those 2 meals with a meal replacement shake. I use the Walmart brand of Slim Fast. They are, if you compare the ingredients, they are pretty much the same as far as that goes, but definitely do your research on that stuff, because I still try to supplement in protein, because I still do snacks and, just a couple of snacks. If I get hungry, I eat. I don't eat like a crazy person. I eat until I'm full or, feel better, because sometimes I have like blood sugar dips and that kind of thing. So it just helps when you are very, very in tune with your body. And that is what I'm focusing on, is just eating when I'm hungry, stopping when I'm full, drinking before I get thirsty, because thirst is actually a later sign of needing something to drink. So try to make it a conscious effort to just drink your fluids and stay hydrated, because it is so, so important in the grand scheme of everything to work the way it needs to work. So I have also been walking 3 days a week, and I actually don't keep up with the distance that I walk. I walk actually at a local cemetery. I find it peaceful and relaxing. Sometimes I walk at a park. It just depends on kind of how the day's been and how I need, if I need some more time kind of to myself. And I use that to just think about the day, think about what's, going on, what goals I have, that kind of thing. If, like, on occasion, I will use like headphones and listen to music, but more often than not, I don't do that, just because there's so much noise day to day anyway. I enjoy just nothingness. So I've been walking 3 times a week, and again, I just make like I'm actually getting ready to walk now, so I make one big lap around, and if I'm feeling pretty good, I make another lap. If I'm not, that's the end of it. I have made it a point to make sure that I do 3 days a week, regardless of how many laps that I do make. And I can tell just as I just feel so much better. I don't dread it like I was. And it makes me feel better when I get home that I have just done a little something kind of just for me. Ultimately, it's just for me. It's kind of like I guess a little bit of my self-care. I don't do a whole lot of stuff. I'm just not really interested in like the fingernails, and I get the whole manicure pedicure thing, and maybe at some point I will. Just you can see I don't have long fingernails. This is my hair. This is just what I was born with, I guess you could say. So I don't do a whole lot of that stuff. And so when it comes to self-care, there's just very few things that I do. And just as a side note, self-care can be anything that you find enjoyable. It doesn't have to be, getting your hair done, going to the salon, doing the nails and all that stuff. It doesn't have to be something like that. It can be something as simple as, watching your favorite show for an uninterrupted 30 minutes, or reading a chapter of a book that you wanted to read, or something like that. So that's kind of where I like to just walk without any noise. So that's kind of my thing, just where I get just a few minutes to myself and just my thoughts and dreams and goals, that kind of thing. So I really, really enjoy that. I hope that I can inspire you all, motivate you in any way whatsoever. I hope that you will consider hitting that subscribe button. And please, if you have got this far, please leave a heart emoji in the comments below, just to show all of us mamas out there that are just doing the best we can, and just try to carve out a few minutes every couple of days just for ourselves, and just let's empower each other and encourage each other. And that's totally the same thing, but you can't get enough of it. So thank y'all so much for coming along, and I guess that's all I got to say. So we're going to go walk, and y'all have a great day, and I'll see you right back here next time.